Glad that you're back in the building. They've been missing us, so we back to make sure that we give you some predictions for these next games. Hopefully they pan out, and for the betting community out there, we'll give you some lines on the games also. But we got to get coaches' reaction from people that coach, because you got Jim Harbaugh, who played and then coached in his first playoff game since he's been back in the league. The last time he was coaching with 49ers. So now he's in the league and he loses his first playoff game in his first year with Justin Herbert throwing 4 picks in that game. I know he was pissed off about that. Tell me what you think about that game and what you think about the coaches in that game, the winners and the losers for that game.
All right. PH, first of all, I'm glad to be back. You already know. Harbaugh is a great coach. We know that. I felt like this year was a great year for him. I like the way they played ball. They were tough on defense. He got back to doing some of the stuff that he always does, running the football, stopping the run. But I'm going to be honest with you. This game, to me, is not on Harbaugh. This game is on Justin Herbert, man. I mean, the Chargers have done everything that they can do to make this guy successful. They done brought several different coaches, several different teams. That dude just wasn't balling yesterday. You look at some of them throws, man. I mean, he just was not balling. Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure on him, for real. I mean,
Yeah, Will
Houston
Anderson
brought
was
it.
around the corner. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
but you got to make plays, man. You still got to make plays. The pass rush is coming. I didn't 4 picks. Two of okay. Two of them was not his fault.
Yeah, it
Two of
was
them
some
hit the
drop.
receiver's hands. So
Yeah,
2 picks but
that
when
first
I
one
first
though.
started, yeah, yeah. And if you looked at the way the first half of the game went, he his percentages was ridiculous. He was like
Yeah,
9 for 20 or something like that. He just didn't look good yesterday. I don't put this one on Harbaugh. Of course, you ain't finna come in the league and win the Super Bowl your first year back. You might as well even should have known that. You feel me? So
yeah.
I felt like he did as good as he could do this year. You know,
Justin Herbert finished that game going 14 for 32. So he was struggling with
you
four
can't win
picks.
like that. You can't win like that. I mean, you can blame it on not having receivers, things of that nature, but Harbaugh has basically what he wants. I don't feel like they ran the ball good. They 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 look
Yeah,
like a
Dobbins
team that
only had
just
26 yards.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, okay, like you said, this was Harbaugh's first year back. He's not new, but he's new this year coming back playing. The only one who had the experience was Herbert, and he played like he didn't have it. And
Yeah,
yeah, that pass rush was on his head. You know what I'm saying? So, good job to the Chargers and
the
Harbaugh,
Tech.
but you out of there right quick.
They seem like every time it's a Saturday game, the Texans gonna have that first game. Like they always get that game. They was talking about how they always have that Saturday game. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, Texans backed into the playoffs to me. When you look at the season, they started off. We were talking about them as a team that you need to not sleep on. People can go check right now on IG. And I tagged Mike Jordan Publishing, but you can check it on PH 32 Films. I put a reel up of a lot of predictions that we did earlier in the season. And one of them was do not sleep on the Houston Texans because of D'Amico Ryans. And they had a lot of injuries. Wide receivers got hurt, Diggs, Tank Dell. But they did get Mixon. And Mixon is one of those running backs that we were talking about, the older running backs that ended up going to new teams because the old teams they played for didn't really want them. Joe Mixon is one of them, coming from the Bengals, going over to the Texans. And in a playoff game, you got to run that football. And Joe Mixon finished with 106 yards on 25 carries and a touch. So he did what he needed to do. And Nico Collins caught for over 100, got a touchdown, did what he needed to do. And I'm gonna give a little shout out to Lad McConkey out there for the Chargers. He's been open all season. He's one of those people you're talking about that helped the Chargers look good this year coming out of Georgia. Not gonna lie, when you look at him, You thinking, how is he wide open? Then if you do the research I did, you find out this man ran a 4.3 when it was time for him to get clocked. And that was totally something people probably wasn't prepared for. He did what he needed to do. But that first, I thought
Is
that
that it?
first throw that Herbert did when he tried to throw that flag route to Johnson and it got picked, that was not open. He went cross body and threw it, tried to throw the flag to the opposite side. That's one of them times when you think your arm, he got a dumb strong arm, but that was the wrong throw to make in that game.
And then you saw where some of the routes, any timing that was missed from
Mm-hmm.
guys getting bumped or anything, Herbert was he wasn't in rhythm. He was
Yeah, he was
letting it
throwing.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was he didn't really look good out there. But is that McConkey from the Giants' son? Phil, do you remember Phil McConkey that played with he played with Lawrence
that's a
Taylor
good
and them?
question. They have to let
It's
us
got to
know.
be his son.
Let us
I mean,
know
how
if they're
many
related
McConkeys?
in the comments. 'Cause that
His
might be.
his his dad played wide receiver at played for the Giants. But yeah, D'Amico Ryans, we talked about the Texans, and you look at the way they played yesterday, and it's like boom, they snapped it on. They were declining a little bit, like you said, they backed their way into the
Yeah,
playoffs. But one thing about them, they got a defense, bro. Their defense
yeah,
plays ball. Joe Mixon is a great running back. We talked about him. He had that one fumble out there. I don't know. I think that was the play call to me. You moving the ball and then you try to call a trick play, and
yeah,
and then something like that happens. But D'Amico Ryans, man, he's an Alabama guy. He's a hard nosed coach. They're not gonna give up. They got a complete team with, like you said, with Deco Collins back. It's gonna be hard to beat them. They're gonna be hard to beat. That team is gonna go as far as Stroud takes them. And he looked pretty good out there yesterday. He made some reads, some slant route throws with the linebacker sitting right there. He still got it in there. He's looking confident out there, And Collins is a beast. Nico
yeah,
Collins is a beast. He reminds me of Andre Johnson. That's who he reminds me of. Andre Johnson. He's
yeah.
big. He's fast. He's a big time receiver, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what the Texans do from here on out in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to that Ravens and Steelers game that happened last night. I felt like early Lamar Jackson when they got behind the chains, any time that the Steelers got him behind the chains, he found a way to like. I'm gonna just say it, man. I think if it's about 6 or 7 yards or something like that, if it's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, that's not really bad opportunities for it. That's usually like a bad down for you on offense, but that's not that bad if you got Lamar Jackson, man. He can get about 6 or 7 yards on the scramble with the elusiveness and the vision he had, man. I felt like any time Steelers got them behind the chains, it really wasn't like behind the chains because Lamar is just too good. Like Lamar beat them to me yesterday, last night. I know Henry went crazy too, but I felt like Lamar beat them boys, man. You're just too good, man. What do you think about that game and how you think about the coaching in that game?
Listen, we talked about Pittsburgh early this season. We talked plenty about Lamar Jackson. Bring your A game to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is not playing right now. He is not taking no prisoners.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I could tell the way that they looked without Zay Flowers. You saw a sense of urgency.
mm-hmm.
The way that the Baltimore Ravens played, they knew that they was minus a weapon, so they had to come out there. The number one thing I picked up on yesterday was their defense came to play. If
They
Baltimore
did.
defense comes to play, you know what Lamar Jackson's gonna do, man. He gonna run
Yeah,
all over you. He gonna throw all over you. He's got Derrick Henry, even Rashad Bateman.
yeah,
This is I'm gonna bring up one play out of that game, the touchdown that Bateman caught.
yeah,
If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're the Baltimore Ravens without Zay Flowers, how am I gonna allow that to happen? A
yeah.
dig route in the red zone.
For a touchdown.
What are you doing on defense?
Yeah,
The DB was beat by a mile. I
yeah,
mean, and I'm not gonna put it on Russ. Russ made some throws,
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
mad
gonna
at
put
Russ.
it on the coaching. I'm gonna put that loss on to the Steelers on the coaching. I'm gonna have to put this one on Mike Tomlin and that coaching staff because they're not mean anymore. The Steelers are not mean anymore. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see the scrappiness, none of that. It was like they were shell shocked. We finna get our ass beat. That's the way
Yeah,
they
that's
were
how it
playing.
look. Yeah, that's how it
I
look.
mean, it was it was
That's
it
what
was
happened to
bad.
me.
It was bad. Now, and then the play that Pickens made when he pushed off. Pickens was ready to play.
Yeah, he was. He
Sometimes
definitely
you got to push off.
was. Yeah,
You
one of
know,
my boys,
I'm just
Steelers fan, he said Mike Tomlin must have ran over to Arthur Smith and said, "You better open up this playbook by the second half, because we about to get blown out in this game." It seemed like, they started making a few more plays, but Lamar was too good to me. They definitely wasn't tough though, especially on that D line. And it's crazy to me. I was saying it's still amazing to me how Cameron, what's my man named? The big
Hayward.
lineman,
Hayward.
Cameron Hayward. It's amazing how he's still good right now because he's been playing forever. But man, they was getting pushed around up front.
Get rid of his old ass.
They was getting pushed
He
around.
gotta go. If you saw him yesterday, he huffing and puffing.
Yeah, he on
They
that
didn't
side.
look good. You listen, man.
Yeah, I don't know if they said something about he might have had a head injury to try to keep
He gotta
playing.
go. They
Man's getting
gotta
cooked
go.
out there.
T.J. Watt rushing straight up the field, regular stuff. You're not dropping him in coverage. I didn't see no stunts. You're not utilizing. I just didn't see the. I didn't see the game plan, man. I didn't see it. They just came out there and lined up to play against the Baltimore Ravens
Got
and
beat.
got beat.
Fry moved one balling yesterday. He was making plays all regular season. He dropped the early pass. They
He
didn't
did.
really go back to him. Russell Wilson finished with 20 for 29 on 270 yards and two tugs.
Russ played. Russ was ready. Russ has the experience. Russ, to me, this wasn't on Russ. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
didn't see that we want to win strategies. I didn't see winning strategies. I saw running and passing and defense. I didn't see winning. I didn't see this is the way we're going to beat Baltimore. They ain't do nothing to Lamar Jackson. Did they touch him?
Looked like
I
he was
didn't
gonna
see
get
him.
what he wanted. The
The
time he
only
felt
time he got hit, he
down, they
9,
sacked
10
him
yards
one
down the
time.
field.
I felt like that sack they got on him was like he just was saying like, okay, that one just wasn't open. I'm not gonna do nothing stupid. Y'all got
Yeah.
me.
He could have got away from him. I
Yeah,
mean, I just I mean, I saw docile play
yeah.
from the Steelers, man. Like I said, I gave Mike Tomlin a lot of props early in the year, and he is one of the best coaches in football. But I saw something yesterday that I had never seen. Maybe I didn't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the lack of
Um,
fight. You feel like, huh?
yes, yes,
Yeah, they kind of look
and
fight.
it starts with him. Did you
Yeah.
see him get mad yesterday at all? I didn't see him getting mad. He ain't throw nothing. He ain't
Mhm.
get in nobody's face yesterday. I mean,
I feel like I
I don't
saw
know,
most of
man.
John Harbaugh in the Chargers game get mad at his special teams when they got that field goal blocked and that figure out
Exactly.
like he didn't know what to do. Then I seen from Mike Tomlin yesterday.
You know,
Keep it
maybe
real.
maybe maybe it's time for a change in Pittsburgh, man. Maybe
They
it's
in,
time for a change.
they
Um,
definitely, speaking of you saying that, they on a 6 game losing streak when it comes to these playoffs, and they haven't won a playoff.
6 game losing streak, and I just lost 4 straight. What didn't ain't they lost 4 straight or 5 straight games?
Yeah, they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. They've
I'm
allowed
talking
28
about
points
the
in all
season.
six
I'm talking
losses.
about this season. How many games in a row are they bring? How many L's they bringing
Yeah,
to that
they
game yesterday? They done lost at least 3 straight.
we saying Texans back then. They
Yeah,
crawled the playoffs basically. Like they might as well say they. Oh, we got a playoff game today. That's kind of how it looked. Like, oh,
yeah.
we made
It
the
wasn't. It
playoff.
wasn't.
That's almost how it looked still. And I know they fans tight. I would be, but it's on you. Right? Like you got to ball out. And this is a division game. It's a playoff game, but this is a division game. You playing Ravens all the time.
Pittsburgh is not the same. They they're just to me they're developing a different culture, and you don't need that in Pittsburgh, man. Look, Mike Tomlin's a great coach. He need to be coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
He can
yeah.
go somewhere else. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't play ball like that It was disgusting. The
Yeah,
Ravens are the new Steelers.
yeah, they the ones that's tough. They the ones that's you can count on them. They the ones that got the
Exactly.
some steady QB play. I felt like also when Lamar stepped up and threw that touchdown pass to the running back, not Henry to the I think it was to the other running back. Yeah,
Justice Hill.
yeah, just still that you always was talking about. That hurt too. But I seen in the interview afterwards, Lamar was like he threw that to him because he was there, but he probably could have took off and scored on that. So that's when you know you're real comfortable feeling like you can do whatever you want against the defense. It's really what that is.
Baltimore came out. Like I said, they knew there was minus Zay Flowers. To me, the way I'm thinking, and I was wrong. The way I was thinking was, okay, if I'm Pittsburgh, they can't beat man coverage. They can
All
run
right.
the football. That's all they can do. They came out hitting the tight ends, Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
You couldn't hit. They didn't stop anybody. Pittsburgh did not stop nobody yesterday. Nothing that they didn't take anything away from Baltimore. They ran the football with Derrick Henry. They ran it with Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
They threw it to both tight ends. They threw it to the receivers. There's
Yeah.
they just rolled over. Pittsburgh just rolled over. What was the final score of that game?
Yeah. That's why I said it was embarrassing. It
20,
was
28
28
to 14.
14, and they scored
And I'm
those two
telling you, they could have beat
touchdowns
them worse.
quick. Yeah, they scored those quick TDs, but really, Ed
I'm
Reed rolling
disappointed.
over in the grave because that was a missed kill shot by that safety. He would have been fine if Ed Reed was playing because that little spin, it was nice, but let me tell you something. And that was a
Body.
slick play. Wiggins slipped on that bump. He didn't get the bump. They in his own. It didn't matter. They ended up still winning. And that's why I feel like Philly, not Philly, Steelers are very embarrassed when you talk about that game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead
I'm
and move
disappointed.
to this Denver game. Denver going to play the Bills because these are the games I'm doing them in the order that they're gonna be coming up. Denver's going on the road to play in Buffalo against a player who can get the MVP with Josh Allen. They're coming in with a rookie QB, but I would say, and it's a lot of people who probably might say this, he's one of the best rookie quarterbacks in the season this year because you got Jaden Daniels we'll talk about next. But Bo Nix, they've been getting the ball out quick for him, roll out throws where he can be comfortable, and they got a good defense. One thing about them, they do have a weapon at corner that you can say, all right, man, just whoever you want to guard, get him, and they might be done with, depending on how Patrick Surtain Jr. Wants to play. How do you feel about this game going forward? It's an 8.5 game for the Bills. Uh,
Uh, the first thing that I think of when I think of this game that's coming up right here is Sean Payton. Now he's back in the spotlight. He started out rough there. Got rid of Russell Wilson. Had to go through that situation. He got that team, that Denver team's playing tough defense. Of course, Bo Nix is a great talent, but he's got Sean Payton, one of the
mhm,
greatest quarterback coaches in the history of the
mhm,
world. He's coached Drew Brees for all of those years.
mhm,
They going down today.
mhm.
They're not beating Buffalo, but I like what Sean Payton has done this year with that rookie quarterback and especially that defense. You mentioned Patrick Surtain. Denver's a tough team. Now, if you come out there and lay an egg, Buffalo, you'll go to the house. But Josh Allen, Mr. Wyoming, um,
So good
he's
this
got to
year.
play for Wyoming.
Yeah,
Hey, Josh Allen to me is having one of the best years that he's ever had. He's had some good years. You
yeah,
know, him and Lamar Jackson's been going back and forth when it comes to the MVP talk. Um, I give Josh Allen the nod just by a little fraction because of the wins. See, to me, Lamar Jackson could be the best MVP. Both of those guys could be the MVP every year, but Baltimore lost a couple tough games this year. You know what I'm saying? They lost to Cleveland Browns. They lost
mhm,
some games that they shouldn't have lost. That's the only edge that I'm giving Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Because Lamar is playing phenomenal, but Josh Allen have been neat and clean this year.
yeah,
They've been whooping everybody's behind. You remember last time we talked? They had lost two in a row. They were 3-2. They start out 3-0, and then they lost two games in a row, and boom, they just
yeah,
start whooping everybody's tail. Um,
yeah. They
that's
was
gonna be
playing
a great
one of the
game,
best defenses.
you know.
They lost
But
those games.
I like the Bills.
Yeah, I remember you saying they had played and they lost those 2 games in a row, and I was like, "What's up with Josh Allen?" But you was like, "They really played two of the best defenses when they lost those 2 games in a row." And obviously he's turned it up since then. Buffalo, they averaging 30 points a game. That's the most in the AFC right now, and they second all time right now when they talking about putting up these points. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't really know all these weapons these folks got. I know they got Dalton. I mean, I know they got Kincaid and they got Cook and I like Shakir. But really, Josh Allen just ain't turning that ball over that much this year. There were two games that happened after we spoke when he played. Bills went and played in the dome. They had to play against the Lions in the dome, and then they had to play against the Rams in the dome. I think, oh, it might have been reversed. It was those two teams though. One of them they played against the Rams, and I want to say they might have lost the game. But either way, Josh Allen was looking crazy in the dome. I was like, man, I know he played in the cold and it's like snow and it's like that's to their advantage and stuff because you saw what they did to 49ers. But when he had them two dome games, they couldn't do nothing. When he was running all over these folks, throwing all over these folks, looking like the best player on the field when the Lions were playing. I'm like, they got a lot of good players, but Josh Allen looked like the best player on this field, looking like the best player on the field when the Rams was playing. I'm like, yo, the best player is wearing 17 right now for the Bills in this game, running all over them. They putting up like 40 something points in these games and losing still. You know what I'm saying? So they turned it on. They know how to play and put up a lot of points. I'm going with the Bills. That 8.5 does seem like it can be a lot when you talk about how Sean Payton can really get a game plan together that makes it not, not a blowout as much, but that
Can
eight.
can the Broncos stay with the Bills the whole 4 quarters? That's the thing about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that 8.5 points, that's a lot of points, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I think Buffalo's gonna cover. I'll be honest with you. I don't see this game coming down to the wire. I just don't.
yeah.
It's the first round. Josh Allen them mean business. Broncos, you better play the best game of your life, or you getting blowed off the field today. I mean,
I want to say
that's the way I look at it, you know. And like you said, dome playing in the dome, Josh Allen's an athlete. I
I'm
mean,
telling you, he
the
looked
better the
crazy.
conditions are, the better he's gonna play. You
He
know,
was looking crazy when he played in the dome those two games in a row. I was like, man, they putting
I
up
see a collision course coming here, and you know
yeah,
who I'm talking about between him and Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. Something gonna have to give this year.
yeah. It's
I
gonna get
wouldn't want to play Buffalo, man. Not this year. I
it's
would
gonna get
not want
real
to play
interesting to
Buffalo this
see.
year, man.
Denver. I will say they lead the league in sacks, so good luck trying to get after Josh Allen today. The defense really did a good job this year. Despite them having Sean Payton as an offense coach, he made sure that defense was right. But Denver good for having the defense. It's the first time they've been back in the playoffs since they had Peyton Manning when they won that
Yeah.
time. That was 2015. So Denver fans probably happy about that. If anything else you want to mention about that game, we'll move on to the next one. The next one gonna be Green Bay. Green Bay coming in with Jordan Love with a hand injury. He's still gonna play in it. But one thing we said about him the last time was he was like he be hurt, but he got to get more games where he's not, where he can play fully healthy. And now he coming in where it means the most, and he really still ain't fully healthy. But he gonna be out there going against Philly. Well, a lot of people look at Philly, look at the roster, and say they good everywhere. So, but the thing is that I always say Philly last year head coach lost that team in the playoffs when they got beat by Tampa. It looked like they was playing uninspired. I think they still remember that when they go into this game, even though Jalen Hurts is coming off having a concussion. What do you think about that game and the coaches in that game?
Well, you know, Jordan Love and his health right now. Excuse me. Jordan Love and his health. We can't. He got a ball. We got to put that to the side. You got to play hurt. You know, you in the playoffs. You're a playoff quarterback, playoff caliber team. You gotta go out there and get it done today. You know, and you don't have an easy task. Philadelphia is rolling like a freight train right now. Hertz has been out for 2 weeks. The man is ready to go. I was looking at him yesterday out there warming up or whatever, practicing.
Yeah.
Philly want to go to the Super Bowl this year, and in order for them to do that, they gotta run over the Green Bay Packers, and I don't see anything that's gonna stop that today. I think that's gonna be the tightest game right there. I like that. I think that's gonna be a good game because of Brandon. I mean, what's his name? Josh Jacobs.
Josh
Because of
Jacobs,
Josh
he got
Jacobs.
that five and a
If they
half.
get Jacobs rolling, you gotta get. And it's hard to run the ball on Philadelphia defense, but you got to get him rolling. If you get him rolling, Love will start making some throws and stuff like that, and they'll be in that game. Um, it's going to be interesting to see this game here, especially with Saquon Barkley there.
Yeah.
He is such a cheat code, man. You know, you
Good
never know what
Barkley.
might happen. He may just say, "Look, I'm finna run over the Green Bay Packers today," but the equalizer is Jacobs. Jacobs is a great back. Also, you got to move the football that keeps Jalen Hurts and that offense on the bench, and it keeps the ball in Jordan Love's hands. This is going to come down to coaching right here. If Green Bay wins this game, it's going to
Matt
be because of
LaFleur.
schemes and coaching. You know,
Yeah.
because you're good on good out there. You're not as talented as the Eagles. You're not. You got
Yeah.
AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you
Yeah.
got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. That's who you're going against,
Yeah.
and their defense tough too.
Yeah.
You gonna have to scheme to win this game. Ain't no
Yeah.
just give it to Jordan Love and let him. He's not that good. He's good, but he ain't good enough to beat them boys by himself.
Yeah.
Run that football, get pressure somehow on Hurts when he backs up to throw it, and take your chances with Saquon. You're gonna have to try to. You got to hold him. You got to hold him under 80, at least under 100 yards. It's gonna be hard to hold him under 85. He can't run for a buck 50 tonight, and you win the game. You can't. It's just like if you look at what you're up against, and you're the Packers, you gonna need some help today.
Yeah, they're staring down the barrel, in my opinion, right now. I ain't gonna lie. It's at -5, and I mean it's at 5.5, right, for Philly. So it's something about Green Bay that people feel like, hey man, maybe they're looking at last year when they went in and bombed the Cowboys in that first playoff game. This is a new opponent. You playing against Philly. One thing we can say is not like they didn't have any playoff experience. They did it just last year with a young team. So maybe they can try to channel some of that. But right now, they playing a juggernaut. Eagles are a juggernaut. I will say this, Eagles fans, if you lose this game to Green Bay, the first round, and you're gone, they're gonna talk about your head coach again. They're gonna say it again. They was on them at the beginning of the year, and then they started winning a lot of games. So everybody like, oh yeah, they're straight. Cause winning quiets no.
I remember they was on his head earlier. They
It was
was,
on
but
Nick
they can't.
Sirianni early.
You can't
You
lose
lose this
this
game.
game if you're
Woo!
Philly. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. See, it's guys like Saquon Barkley
Yep.
that is not gonna let them lose this game, man. There's no way that Philly loses this game, man. You know,
Yeah.
anything can happen,
You're right.
but
Football.
I would bet a considerable amount of money on the Philadelphia Eagles today with that 5.5 point spread. I mean, it's just you know, I don't see it. I don't see it. Jordan Love and them gonna come out there. They're gonna go out there and beat Philly in four
Yeah,
quarters of football today with
I know.
Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and all them. I don't see it, man.
The turnover is going to
Jalen
be
Hurts might just run over you the whole game. It's
yeah.
Josh Jacobs is gonna be that ace in the hole, man. He's got
Yeah.
to get going. You got to get him going, but I still like Philly.
Turnovers be important in this game. Make sure you only turn that ball over Green Bay because it can get ugly quick, but also on the other side, just make sure you hold on to that ball. We'll move on to the Washington game. They're going to play Tampa. I'll put a stat out now because I like Jaden Daniels. We talk about him a lot. Rookie quarterbacks, there's only been three of them that's went on the road and won in a playoff debut. It happened with Joe Flacco. He did it. It happened with Mark Sanchez. He did it. It happened with Russell Wilson. He did it. It's only been those three. Jaden Daniels, you can add yourself to this list if you can go into Tampa and beat them boys in Tampa. One thing about Tampa, that's the team that beat the Eagles last year in the playoffs. So they know what to do when it comes to playoffs also. And you know Baker Mayfield going to be extra scrappy. This is a different Washington team. The Commanders fans are outside. That game is at 3 points, which you know what that tells you for all people that's betting. What do you think about that game and the coaches in that game?
Um, it's gonna be a good one. Tampa Bay, you got Baker Mayfield. You have a bunch of playoff experience. winning last year. You got the head coach with Coach Tom Brady's defense. You already got, you know, championship material at Tampa Bay. But this
And
is
you
the
got a
thing.
new running back, Bucky Irvin. I
You
want to
got
mention.
Irvin. Irvin is good. I like him. You still got Rashad White, but B. Irvin is balling.
Mhm.
You got Mike Evans. You got
Mhm.
big time stuff going on in Tampa Bay. But Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, they're good, man. They're good. I like Washington in this game. I like Washington to go in Tampa Bay and win this game. You know, Tampa Bay blitzes more. Normally they blitz more than anybody. They're
Yes, Todd
coming.
Bowles will be. Todd Bowles. Here's a newsflash. Todd Bowles
Ty
will be
Bowles gonna
blitzing
blitz you.
that rookie quarterback today
To me, that's what's gonna make you lose
or
against a guy
tonight
like that. Because when you blitz this guy, it's gonna force him to make plays quickly. You
quickly.
don't want to do that. He's an athlete. He's an athlete. He's got Terry McLaurin out there.
Yeah.
Good running game with Robinson and Austin Eckler. Their defense is
He
solid.
activated Zach Ertz again.
Zach Ertz. I think today it's gonna be the Jaden Daniels show, man. We're gonna see it. It's gonna be a good game. Tampa Bay is ready, like you said. Baker Mayfield's gonna be extra scrappy, but Washington defense is decent. You know, I feel like this is gonna be maybe the best game of this weekend. That game right there, I can't wait to see it. Ty Bowles, you already know
Yeah.
he's a defensive minded stop you type of coach. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to stop that young man back there. With the skills that he has as far as running and throwing the football, man. I like Washington in this game in a close one. I like Washington.
It's definitely been times where Todd Bowles has blitzed his way out of games and when it counted a lot, even when he had Tom Brady. So hopefully he'll make the right decisions on that defense today. I feel like that Washington secondary gonna get tested. So be ready, guys. You're supposed to get, I guess they picked up Lattimore. Hopefully he coming off his injuries and stuff. You got some other good key guys out there playing on that secondary. I really feel like they're gonna try to get Mike Evans going, but don't sleep. There's a wide receiver by the name of Jay McMillan. Last week, the game was on the line for Tampa to get in the playoffs. They win. He caught a pass. He got up, did a celebration, got a penalty for the celebration. Came back, scored a touchdown that pretty much sealed that game for them boys. So don't sleep on Jay McMillan, man. I just want to say that as a wideout, he been balling. I feel like Tampa been looking at him not really. The team know he probably nice, but everybody else they be sleeping on him. He gonna be wide open out there today. But I think Washington. I agree with you, Jaden Daniels. I think this is gonna be one because he's probably going to be the best player on that field. So I agree with
Yeah.
you. I'm going to move to the Vikings. That's going to be on Monday night. Last time Vikings played Rams, and this game is going to be weird because they're not even going to be playing in LA. They're going to be playing in Arizona because of the fires. We want to send out our prayers to everybody that's going through those fires in LA, including our uncle and our family members in that area. Everybody, from what we heard on our side, is doing well, but we got to send our prayers for people who are suffering right now. The Vikings coming in off a loss, and this game is at 2.5. Vikings coming in off a loss because Darnold act like he just didn't know how to play anymore when they played in that Lions game. Going up against the Rams, Sean McVay, Super Bowl winning coach, Matt Stafford, looking around like, yeah, I know I'm old, but I still can make the throw. Puka Nacua, Cup, Kyron Williams. What do you think about this game and the coaches in this game?
Um, like I said, like we talked about before, man, the Rams got Minnesota's number, man.
You doing it
The
again?
Vikings.
You did it the last time. You doing that again. You picked them to win
Listen,
the last time they
listen.
played.
This is why. This is why. Did you see the game last week when Minnesota lost that game? What? That was
No,
weird, man. That was something like, And then I'm not just gonna talk about Sam Darnold. I'm gonna talk about
Jefferson.
Flores and that defense didn't come to play.
Um,
How many points they gave up?
oh man, yeah.
I mean, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do nothing right. I don't want to pick the Rams in this game, but it's just something about it. I
It
would
was
not want to be
31 to
Minnesota
9.
today. I mean,
It was
tomorrow night. I
31
wouldn't
to
want to be.
9. It
I
was
wouldn't want them to
31 to
play. I
9.
wouldn't want to have to play the Rams with all them guys you just named, Cooper Cup, Nakua, them
Aaron,
guys ready, man. Stafford is he's a Super Bowl quarterback.
oh, you telling me Vikings did all this? They the first team 14 wins to be, first of all, not win your division and you in a wild card game. 14 wins. They
They
did
didn't
all
win the
this
whole
all
season.
season to lose to the Rams again.
You remember what I said? We were talking earlier. They was like 4-5-0. I was like, they gotta win more. I don't believe them. I still don't believe them. And they got a lot of daggone wins, man.
Yeah, man,
They
because
won a
I do
lot of
like.
games.
I think McConnell. What's my name? What's my guy name? Not McConkey. I'm thinking about McConkey. Kevin O'Connell. I think he's a
Yeah,
good coach, but I also
he's
think,
definitely O'Connell's a good coach, man. But if you look at the way that he does things,
mm,
he's more of a to me of a student of a game of the game type of deal. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy
explain that.
who um he's more Belichick than uh D'Amico Ryans, if that comparison
Yeah.
makes sense. You see what I'm saying? To me, he's a heady guy. You know what I'm saying? He definitely knows his X's and O's,
Hmm.
but sometimes you got to throw stuff on the field, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take the clipboard and throw it at the quarterback to
Yeah.
get. I don't see that from him. I don't see, you know,
Yeah.
the
He
rah
get.
rah.
It's like he's gonna have you in the right. You're gonna be
Yeah,
in.
he gonna have you in the right stuff.
You're gonna
You
be in
gonna
the right
look.
place. You just
He's
gotta
like this.
execute it. And when you
Hey,
don't
look,
execute it, he's not jumping on. He's not on you like he
he's
should.
one of these guys. Hey, I got you. Everything was supposed to work on this play. What's going on? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He
Yeah.
ain't. Look, you need to get your jock strap in the grass.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, that's just my opinion,
And you think that's
but
the difference? You think that's
I
the difference?
think I think that's the difference right
Or
now when it comes to Minnesota. And we know Flores has that type of character, but he's not
yeah.
the head coach of that team. He's the
Yeah.
defense coordinator. Um, I don't the Rams are coming to win, man. They slide in there. They kind of feel like the Giants
Yeah.
with Eli coming in there.
Yeah.
You know, if they win this game, nobody's gonna want to play the Rams.
Yeah.
You
They
know, they
definitely
got
won the division
a
this year.
bunch of players that can ball, man. They can ball. And they got
Won the
one of the
division.
best coaches. We know Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in football.
Yeah,
He's
he
been
gonna do
that.
both. He gonna do both. He gonna have you in the right stuff, and he gonna get on
And
you.
he gonna get in your face if he have to and tell you that you suck and you should
Yeah.
have made that play.
Yeah. And he on his defense too. When the defense not right, he get on that defensive coaches real fast. Like, hey, come on now. Somebody, well, I don't know what's going on, but we got to figure it out. Some more, it got a coaching tree that's going on in this league. That's a close one though. They got it at 2.5, which means that when I look at stuff like that, I'm thinking, all right, one big, I don't know, Addison or Jefferson play might change this whole thing around, but you got players on the other side, man.
Get the
Don't
ball
get
to number 18. If you Minnesota, he gotta touch it.
yeah,
Jefferson's gotta touch it, man. He really is the guy who can win you this game. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
If you mess around and let the Rams come up with a scheme to stop Jefferson, you going down.
Yeah, and also bring just a quick note. Aaron Jones was on that field last year when Green Bay played against Dallas, and he ran all over them in the playoffs. He might do something for Minnesota today. We'll find out. And don't sleep because there's a couple of players out there for the Rams on that defensive front that might have something to say. So I think these games are going to be good. I wanted to go over them with you and ask you about the coaches. I feel like we got a consensus. We both disappointed in the Steelers and the way they came out. Mike Tomlin, we disappointed right now. I can't lie. If you're a Steelers fan, I know you're disappointed. We happy about what happened with D'Amico Ryan. And then we looking forward to these games going forward. Like I said, man, good luck to all the rookie quarterbacks because it really, if you look at the history, they lose when it's when it's the first time on the road in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's what the records are for, right? So you can break them. Is there anything else you want to mention with these games or anything else you want to mention, period, before we get
Hey, look. You know I got something for you. You know I got something for you, right?
what you got?
You know I got something for you, right? Let me show you. Of course, that's the Patriots. I'm not even gonna say
Hold
nothing
on,
about
let me
them.
see that again.
This is tailor made.
That's the big P.
That's the big P. But you know they fired your boy,
Absolutely. And I was about to
Gerard
say, for
Mayo.
you to be
They
holding that up
fired
right
him.
now, knowing that y'all blew that #1 pick because y'all put in
What
Milton
what
and
what what
balled
what
out.
what what happened? We trying to win games all the whole year and can't, but we're gonna win the game that's gonna keep us from getting Travis Hunter.
Go ahead and
It's
show
the
us what you
stupidest. I would have fired him too, dude. I don't care. I don't care. He's gotta go. How could
got.
you win that football game?
I know
Why
you was
would you
like,
why would you even try to win that game?
I was
I don't
mad. I was mad watching it, and I'm not a New England fan. I'm like, what are y'all doing? But I understand players got to be professional. Like that quarterback came out there, I'm like, all right, y'all done gave me a start. I'm not about to like slide and
take him out. Take him out.
this when you need Zappy on the roster or somebody because
Take him out and lose the game.
Milton was too good.
You now we're number 4. Travis Hunter ain't gonna be, them boys gonna be gone.
Yeah, everything's different now. And what else you was gonna show
But
us?
this is what that kind of really just threw us off that P right. I had to pick that thing up. I had to pick this up to get to the shirt that I'm finna show you right now. And I done showed you this before, but
Oh man.
you see it. Yes, sir, baby. Them Blue Devils is coming, boy. Them Blue Devils is coming for you.
Yeah,
Did you see the
win
man?
yesterday
Listen,
against Notre Dame.
hey, Notre Dame's a good team. We know that ACC ball, but Duke is the best team in college basketball. That don't mean we're gonna win the national championship. It's things got to happen for us to do that. But do you remember when we had to talk about John Shire? And I told you there's nothing else he can do but continue to win and take tough losses. He's doing it. You know, we're 5-0 in the conference, 6-0 in the conference. Watch out for them Blue Devils, man.